Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm Maycha'al Maycha'al. And you're watching TMB, Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of the Creator, and the church. Welcome, welcome. This is very important time we're living in. We're living in very important time. The time of the end. Now, I know a lot of ministers come along and they tell you that the earth is going to end at a certain time, and some gave you dates. And thus far, everything that you received is incorrect. And so you're left in the balance, found wanting. And you're wondering, why should you listen to someone else? Why should you listen to somebody else who come and tell you it's the end of the world? What give them credibility? What give them credibility? Where did they get their answers from? Do you have access to those answers? Can you do the same research they do by them coming to tell you it's going to be the end of the world? Why should you believe such a person? Well, I'm not here to tell you that it's at the end of the world. It's not my message. But we definitely can see the handwriting on the wall. We definitely can see it. There is a handwriting on the wall. And it is important, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for us to pay attention. Because if you're not paying attention, you're going to get swept away and you're going to be left outside. I'm Maycha'al Maycha'al, and I have a burning fire inside of me. My name, Maycha'al, is a statement. It's making a statement. Who is like the Creator? Who is like Yahweh? I have something to say. And that's why I'm here streaming live on all these networks. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Not because I'm trying to win the masses. I'm not trying to win the masses. The Messiah was here and he couldn't win the masses. And he was working miracles. Walked on water. Came back from the dead. And he couldn't win the masses. Who am I to even try? I remember one time preaching and I'm asking God, I said, nobody's listening to me. Why do I even preach? Why do I preach? Nobody's listening. Why do I preach? Let's get this up here because I feel like why do I preach? Nobody's listening. And I preach because I thought, I don't know if I could put this on here. Yeah. I thought I was saving somebody. My goal was to try to save somebody. And I can hear the Creator's voice in my head. You think you're preaching to save somebody? You don't have that power. You don't have the power to save somebody. So why am I preaching then? If not to save somebody. But what I heard in my head is that you're preaching not to save someone because you don't have the power to save someone. Only the Creator can save. He's the only one who has the power to save somebody. And so if he doesn't open your ears to hear it, no matter what I say, no matter how I say it, no matter how flamboyant I am, no matter how entertaining I am, you're still not going to be saved. You're going to enjoy for a minute, like a lovely song. You're going to enjoy me. You're going to enjoy my flamboyancy. You're going to enjoy my energy. But if he doesn't open your mind to receive what he's saying, what the information you're hearing, you're never going to accept it, no matter how good, no matter how sweet, no matter how important, relevant, you will never accept it unless he open your mind. So why am I preaching? This is what I heard. You're preaching a weakness. Your message is a weakness. It's a judgment against the people. You know, the Messiah himself said, when they ask him, why do you preach to the masses in parables? I'm talking to somebody today, because I'm telling you, I'm burning inside. Why do you preach to the masses in parables? His answer was, so in hearing, they will not hear. So in hearing, they will not hear. He preached in parables so they would not hear. They hear it, but they would not understand it. They would not perceive it. Now, why would he want to do that? What would be the sense? Why preach if you don't want somebody to perceive it? Here's what he said. Everyone who seeks finds. Everyone who knocks, the door will be open unto you. And everyone who asks shall receive. Those who are hearing the message, like you right now who are hearing the message, if you're not seeking it, it's of no value to you. If you're not asking for it, it's of no value to you. If you're not knocking, no doors is going to open for you. You will continue to go around in that loop. You will continue to go around in that circle. You will continue to wander in the wilderness of this world. A system that is designed to push you like a current underneath the ocean, push you back and forth, left and right, taking you place to place, but then you end up right back at the same place where you started. And so my message is for OMPP. I realize not only that I have a specific message, but I have a specific people to deliver that message to. It's not for the world. That's why I'm not popular. I'm not here telling you what you need to hear. I'm not here trying to motivate you and give you inspirational, motivational, life uplifting sayings so that you can feel good about yourself. I don't want you to feel good. I want you to feel bad. I'm not here for you enjoying pleasure. I want you to open up your mind. I want you to listen, to hear what I'm saying. I'm here to deliver information to you. Knowledge is power, but power is useless unless it's used. So I'm speaking to a specific type of people. Back in the days, man, when I was out there, I was trying to baptize the world. I was trying to make disciples of all nations. I was trying to, I realized even the Messiah, when he was here, was not trying to reach the world. He was speaking to a specific people. He said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Maycha'al. That's where he was sent. And if you don't understand Maycha'al, what they wrote in your Bibles are Israel. He was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Now, here's the problem with that statement for us today who don't have the true understanding who Israel is. We don't adhere to the word Israel, but in order we don't ascribe to the to the word Israel. But for those who are watching who may not know, when you hear the word Israel, you're thinking of the Jews who lived and occupied the promised land. After all, the Mashiach, the image of the Mashiach, the Messiah, is in the same image of the people who are occupying the land today. So when you look at the so-called Messiah, the one called Jesus, and you look at his image, and then you look at the people who are occupying the land today, you would conclude that Jesus and the image of the Israelis that are occupying the land today, who call themselves Israelites, or Hebrews, you would think he was sent only to them. But that's because you don't have the right information. You don't have the right information to cognitively, if I said that word right, think of the true people. I said it before, ladies and gentlemen. I said this before. If you're truly looking at the book, the Bible, and looking biblically at this thing, then my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, and the topic today of this message just for you, those who can trace their lineage through the Atlantic slave trade, I'm talking to you. It could be one of you that is listening right now. I'm speaking to you. If you can trace your lineage through the Atlantic slave trade, I'm listening to you. I'm being monitored on all these networks. And only a few of you are listening. Because only many are called, but only a few will be chosen. They stop my notification from going to people. Because I have a message against those who claim to be and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. I have a message against false religion. I got a message against false government. I have a message against false prophet and preachers, so-called preachers who are winning the masses with their flamboyancy and not telling you the truth. My message is not popular. It's meant to be like a sword. It's meant to cut through it's meant to cut through the mind, the heart. It's meant to make you think. It's not a popular message. So how many of you want to really hear it? The question for you today is, why aren't you asking why? One of the reasons I've come to understand in my 53 years on this planet, people are unaware. The reason why people are not grateful, the reason why people are not asking questions is because they are unaware. You get up, you brush your teeth, you wash your face. Some of you have time to eat breakfast or make breakfast or buy it. You head off to work, or school, or college. You go, you punch in your clock, you worked, you get your lunch, you get your break, you get your lunch, you finish your day, and you head home. You may stop, hang out with some friends. Some of you might stop at a bar, drink. You might pick up a few things for your family. You get home, you take a shower, you eat your food, you watch TV. And if you have time, those who are married or those who have loved ones, spouses are significant other, you might catch a little piece. And then you go to bed and you do it all over again. And then you wake up on a weekend, where you're most weak and vulnerable. And to rejuvenate your strength, to rejuvenate your life, you may go out to a party or something, go see a movie, go bowling, something to make you feel like your work week was all worth it. Some of you are more serious. You live on a budget, you have a goal in mind, you want to accomplish, you want to get a house. Some of you might have a house who want to, save up for your kids' tuition for college. You have the same systematical movement. All of us are chasing the American dream, having the wives, the wife and the house and the money in the bank and the cars, be able to travel occasionally, see the world, send your children to good school, have a church family. This is your dream, to leave something to your children's children, to make a legacy for yourself so that your children's children can enjoy your hard work. And life goes on, and it's been going on like this, and it's been spinning like this for years. And so what human beings look forward to is a better life, a balanced life, a purposeful life. And then you die. And everything you work for, everything that you put your heart in, your sweat in, it's all left behind. Your clothes, somebody else is going to wear it. Your glasses, your watch, your car, somebody else is going to drive it. Your bike, somebody else is going to ride it. Somebody else is going to wear your shoes, even your old drawers. Somebody's going to wear it because your spouse might give it to Salvation Army. They might give it to one of these charities. Somebody's going to wear even your old drawers. And then on your tombstone, here lies so-and-so, the date of birth and the day you die. And if you're religious, they might put a scripture or your favorite scripture on your tombstone, and then you're gone. And that's life for many people on this planet. No one is thinking about a God. Who created this? What was his purpose? What was his purpose of creating you on the planet? What is he trying to do here? Is he really in control of this planet? What's going on? Nobody's asking the question, what's going on? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Why are we here? What can I do? Nobody's asking these questions. You're not aware of what's going on, because you're not asking the question. Is this my life? To have a wife, have a house, cars, children, money. Is this my life? I have all of that. And I'm telling you, this is not my life. My life is more than having a house and a car and a wife and money. My life is more than that. I was put here for a purpose. My purpose is to let every living soul in the sound of my voice, every living soul that I meet, every living person that there is a God in heaven. His name is Yahweh. He created the world and everything in it, and his word will be the final say on this planet. There is a doomsday. He's going to destroy it all. Because he's the ultimate power. He's the ultimate source. He's done it before. You know, you read the Bible and people think, oh, this God is so loving and merciful and kind and patient. And yes, he's all of that. But this God is a killer as well. This God is a killer. And I don't think you don't hear any pastors, any preachers preaching that. This God is a killer. He's a destroyer. And a destroyer of souls. Now, you must understand something, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't take pleasure in that. He said, I take no pleasure in the death of a wicked man. But if that wicked man would turn from his wicked way and live, he doesn't take pleasure in this, but he's not going to put up with it. You think because these people form their secret societies and they have all the money in the world and all the power in the world, who do you think is behind that? Who do you think allowed that? Who do you think set these things up? Everything on the planet is under the fingertips of the Creator. There's no devil on one side and the Creator on one side and they're fighting for power. The ultimate power belongs to the Creator. Everybody's underneath him. The devil cannot do a damn thing unless the Creator say, go do that. I read that in the scriptures. Go look at the Job experience. Go read the book of Job. The devil was wandering all around the world, back and forth through it. He went up to the Creator. The Creator asked him, where you been? Where you come from? He said, I was running up and down in the world. The Creator said to the devil, have you considered my servant Job? There's no one on earth like him. It wasn't the devil who went down. But most people read the Bible, but they don't really comprehend what they're reading because they never ask the question. Have you considered my servant, he said. Have you considered my servant Job? There's no one on earth like him. Fear God and shun evil. And nobody pays attention to what Satan said back to the Creator. Satan said something back to the Creator, and I don't think many people pay attention to what he said. He said what? You have put a hedge around him. A hedge around his house, his wife, his children, his business, his fields, his cattle. In other words, what Satan was saying, I can't touch the man. I can't break through your defense. So Satan have no power. These people who align themselves with the different families of the earth and control it, they have no power. Not one of them can raise themselves from the dead. Not one of them knows the future. They can't tell you what's going to happen. Even when they plan it, they can't tell you what's going to happen. They can't tell you how long they're going to live. They have no control over death or life. They are puppets in the hands of the Creator. Everything that's happening on the planet has to go through the Creator. He said, I set up kings and I dispose of them. When you read through the Bible, you hear him say this many times, I will send the Babylonians after you. Who do you think sent the Babylonians to destroy the children of Maycha'al? Who do you think sent the Babylonians? It was the Creator. Who do you think sent the children of Maycha'al into slavery? Who do you think did that? With a mighty hand and an outstretched arm and with fury pour out. Who do you think do that? You think it's the white man that do that? The white man has no power. He's a hurry come up. Look at history. You will see he didn't rule nothing. He didn't rule nothing. Look at his timing. Look. If you really check out the history books, you will see that the white man has a beginning up there. He don't rule nothing. He just understands something. He understands a little bit more because he confiscated the books and he read them. And he learned from what he read. He put 2 and 2 together. And that's why he's controlling what he's controlling, but he's only controlling what he's controlling because the Creator let it be. So he was the one who put us into slavery so that we can fulfill the words he spoke to our father. Your children will be in a land not their own. They'll be enslaved 400 years. And after the 400 years, I will punish the nation they serve as slaves. You think they're not gonna be punished? You think death will make them escape? You think because they die, they're gonna escape? There will be a resurrection, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot escape the punishment of the Creator. You can't. You think you can just live your life out and just do people anyhow you want and not love your neighbors? What do you think is going to happen? You think, no. Repentance is the name of the game. And if you're alive and you're watching this, or if you even get a chance to watch this, you're going to realize that the reason why you're alive is because he's having mercy on you. He's giving you opportunity to repent. You cannot say you didn't hear it. He's telling you. He's using people like me, the ravenous bird, true man of God, written and spoken of from scriptures. I never seen no T.D. Jakes in the Bible. Joel Osteen in the Bible. Ellen G. White. I've never seen that in the Bible. William Miller is not in the Bible. Martin Luther King, not in the Bible. Malcolm X, not in the Bible. And everyone else you can think of. But I see a ravenous bird in there. I see a ravenous bird in the Bible. Isaiah 46 and verse 11. Ravenous bird is in the Bible. We have the pleasure of having the ravenous bird in our midst. Because we who heard the name Yahweh moved at the sound of the shofar, the trumpet of the name that came blasting from the far east, and we sold our possession, say goodbye to our families and friends, pack up everything we can carry, and move to the Philippines where he commanded us to gather. This is the wilderness that the woman of Revelation that was given wings like an eagle to fly to the wilderness where she would be nourished for a time and half of a time. That's 98 years. For the next 98 years, we're going to be nourished. But a dragon is going to spew. Things are going to happen beginning in 2025 in the spring. And how are we so certain of this? Because the word of God cannot be void. If he said it, it's going to happen. The reason why these false prophets ain't pulling no weight is because they're not sent by Yahweh. You know why Malcolm X couldn't free you? You know why Martin Luther King couldn't free you? And I'm just speaking of, you know why Marcus Garvey couldn't free you? We had a 400-year sentence. A 400-year sentence has to be complete. There's no freedom within the 400 years. You couldn't be free before the 400 years. There's no Exodus and Million Man March. There's one from a family, one from a city, two from a family, one from a family, two from a city. That's how one by one. And where they're flying to come over here from the lands of our enslavement, they're coming on aeroplanes, the wings like an eagle. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a true example. I'm living it. So when you see me come up on here and I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you because I am trying to scare you. I am talking to you to warn you, to let you know, if you don't move, you will be destroyed. Come out of her, he said, my people. Come on now. Come out of her, my people, that you may not be destroyed of her plagues. In other words, he's giving you the time. He's giving you the chance. He's giving you the opportunity to get up and get out. Go and look at the ravenous bird. He has a YouTube channel out there. Go watch Leave on Wings. Ravenous Bird. RAVENOUSBIRD. Leave on Wings. You are commanded to leave. Now, let me get serious in here. For the last 32 minutes, I'm setting you up. Now I'm not playing around. I'm just going to tell you straight. What do you do with it is up to you. Let's go back to the true children of Maycha'al. We are named after our father. That's why we say Maycha'al. We're not Israelite. We're not Israel, nor are we Israelites. Our father's name is not Is. It's not Ra, nor is it El. That's a triune God. We don't worship a triune God. We don't worship Isis. We don't worship Horus. We don't worship Ra. And we don't worship this Elohim that they think is the creator of the heaven and earth. We don't worship those gods. As a matter of fact, the first commandment he gave us was to not worship any other gods but him. We worship a single God. His name is Yahweh. That's number one. You will find this out when you go and watch the YouTube channel, The Ravenous Bird, on True Name of the Creator. Go and watch these things so that your eyes could be open so you could hear something and move upon it. Your pastors are fooling you, man. Your government are fooling you. All this assassination attempt, you don't think that's a show? It happened in the past. Who got shot in the past and end up winning the election? It's all a show, man. Don't be distracted. All of these things that are happening is a distraction. Everything that they put on television, everything that they say on the news, they are all distraction to distract you from who your God is and who you are. Your future is not in some president. Your future is not in some government. Your future is not in some person or persons. Your future is in him, the creator, Yahweh. And if anything that matters outside of him, you're not worthy of him. You were given this Jesus. And you were told that no one cometh to the Father but by him. You were told that no other name given to man by which we must be saved, and that's the name of Jesus. Do you know the very name Jesus supposedly means God is salvation? His name points to something. His name points to the one who is salvation. But they make him the product of salvation. What was his message? But you see, I don't want to get you confused. Because I'm not here to talk about some Jesus. That is the white man's God. Jesus is the white man God. And no, listen. That's why their God is made in their image. Jesus is the white man God. And when I say white man, I'm not just talking about the white European man. I'm talking about anyone with white skin. If you got white skin, that is your God. That's not our God. The God who created us in his image. Now you have to understand something. In his image, in his likeness, that's how he created us. Now you have to ask yourself the question, the first man on earth could never be a white man. Why aren't you asking why? Why, Maycha'al? What are you saying? Every picture you have seen is the God is white. Every angel you have seen is white. I just watched on Facebook, they put an angel over Donald Trump, standing up mighty and strong with his wing outstretched. He was in gold and he had gold armlet and like he stopped the bullet or something. And I comment on that video, on that picture. I said, you know what would have been super amazing? If they had made that angel black. When was the last time you've ever seen a black angel? Or is there any such thing? Oh, like Muhammad Ali says, they are a black angel, but they're up in heaven cooking and cleaning. Thought it was funny. Now you heard me. You heard me. The white man could never be the first man on the planet. I don't think this is a racist thing. Whenever people talk the truth about ethnicity, y'all think it's racist. It has nothing to do with racist. A matter of fact, if you really look up the word racist or racism, or racist, you will see it's one who loves his race. It's not all negative. There's some positive thing about being a racist. It means that I love my people. I love my culture. I love my race. There's nothing wrong with that. Why me loving my race is a problem to you. But I'm telling you the truth, and I can prove it scientifically. Because some of you, if you don't see something scientifically, you don't believe it. I'm making the proclamation that the white man could never be the first man on the planet. And here's why I said so. Because according to science, no black man can come from a white man. That's science. And this is not just science. And listen, here's the amazing thing about this. White people are saying this. It's not, this scientific proof come from the white man himself. Didn't come from us. Come from the white man. Your Professor Leachy and them. When they found the skull, they said the oldest living skull is a woman named Lucy that they can find. They also telling you that the Eve gene, Adam and Eve, the Eve gene is only found in the black woman. They're telling you this. White people are telling you this. So they're telling the world this. They're saying this for us and for them. They recognize something when they do the science of it. No black man can come from a white man. Here's why. The white skin is recessive. Which means the melanin or dark skin is dominant. I say this a lot of time because I want you to go do your research on the information I'm dropping. Are you picking this thing up that I'm putting down? The black man, the black skin is dominant. That's why if you put a black man with a white woman, you would see the baby turn dark. If you put the black woman, if you put the white woman with the black man, or I say it the other way, the white woman, the black man, the white woman, the white woman with the the white man with the black woman, any way you put it, the dominant is going to pull right through. That's why they say even in their science, if you have one drop of black blood in you, one drop of black blood, it's called the one drop rule. If you have one drop of black blood in you, you're black. I mean, your generation down the line, if that one little piece of DNA or RNA make its way, it's dominant. Now, if that is true based on science, just science alone, if that is true based on science, ladies and gentlemen, the white man could never be the first man on the planet, because if he's the first man on the planet, where did black people come from? That's why they're telling you come from monkeys. They're telling you come from some cell. The Darwin theory, you come from a cell and the cell developed a cell. But when you do the science of that again, you realize that for a cell to formulate, it needs a whole lot of components to make that happen. So they have to go back to the drawing board. The evolutionary theory is leaking. It has no validation at all. So they have to keep up the lies. They tell you the earth is spinning in space, in a vacuum at 67,000 miles, going around like this, shooting through space. They tell you moving 1,000 miles around the earth. The earth is spinning 1,000 miles, but yet you can't see it. You can't feel it. If you jump up and the earth is moving at 1,000 miles, even though you can't feel it, you drop back. You should not drop back in the same space. But we believe what they say because they have the science. I stopped believing what they say. I stopped believing what Yahweh said. He made man in his image. The first man on the earth, the first woman on the earth is black. You can't accept that. You can't accept truth. You cannot accept that. You cannot accept truth. And if you can't accept truth, you cannot be saved. Because only truth can save you. And that truth comes from Yahweh. That truth is Yahweh himself. It's what he says go. Whatever he said is the truth. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that come out of his mouth. It's what he said is truth. Forget what I say. If I'm not saying what he said, then please ignore me. And I'm not coming up here telling you anything. I'm just trying to give you information to bring you to the truth. If you cannot accept that black man is the first man on the planet, you are lost. So going back to those who claim to be Jews, I'm not even going to tell you to look at the history of who they say they are. I'm going to ask you I'm going to put in you some question to ask yourself. You have to look at what the scripture says. You have to look at the true history book, which is the Bible, which they try to taint anyway. But Yahweh said he will preserve his words throughout all generations. Man cannot taint the word of God. Anything that's happened in the Bible is because Yahweh allowed it to happen to keep some of you in ignorance. I'm reading that Bible and I'm telling you, I was ignorant. But I could look at the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. I could look at it and something is wrong. Something doesn't add up. I was raised a Christian. And I'm looking at the Bible at the man I'm supposed to be following, this Jesus Christ, who was supposed to be a Jew, who lived his life like a Jew, who circumcised on the 8th day and did everything Jewish. And I'm a Christian following this Jewish man, and I'm supposed to follow him. But I'm looking at my life, I'm looking at his life, and I'm recognizing I do absolutely nothing like him. He said greater things than him we will do. He said we will drink the cup he drank, and walk the road he walked, and eat the bread he eat. And I'm looking at my life and I'm like, it doesn't match up. He's a Shabbat keeper, but I go to church on Sunday. And I'm saying I rest on Sunday. And I'm saying to myself, wait, but he rests on Shabbat. He did good on the Shabbat. It's good to do good on the Shabbat. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. And I'm asking these simple questions and I'm not getting no simple answers. I ask questions. Because what I'm supposed to be is not what I am, but what I'm doing is accepted. That's not how you follow somebody. If I tell you to follow me from a journey, let's say I tell you to follow me from Bronx to Brooklyn, and I'm driving down 95 South. And I'm driving 95 South to get to Brooklyn. That's for those in America. And I'm keeping going 95 South. My goal was to go to Atlantic Avenue and then take Atlantic Avenue into Brooklyn. But you take the Jackie Robinson. You took the Jackie Robinson. And you got there a lot faster than me. And I took the Atlantic Avenue route and I come around. Did you follow me? Now you can justify yourself. You can say, well, I know a shortcut. You were ahead of me. I couldn't get to you, so I did my thing. You could also say, my goal was to follow you to Brooklyn. And we got to Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn, I'm in Brooklyn, so I followed you. Here's my question to you. Did you really follow me? You didn't follow me at all. You found your own way to Brooklyn. If I say follow me, then you need to follow me. That means you drive where I drive. That means you go where I go. When I look at my life, I realize I wasn't going where he goes. I didn't keep no Shabbat. I wasn't going out baptizing people. Not at that point. I wasn't doing no miracles. I wasn't healing no sick. I'm supposed to follow him, and he said greater things than him I will do. We weren't doing nothing of the sort. And those who were doing fake miracles were winning people with their fake miracles and having these mega churches. I looked at my life and I realized something's wrong. When I look at those people who is occupying the promised land, I said something is wrong. Because I'm looking in their history for some basic clues, ladies and gentlemen, that I cannot find. What are these basic clues? One, is there anywhere in their history where they have been brought by ships and scattered as slaves throughout the whole known world at the time? I cannot find in their history where they have been brought by ships, shackled as slaves, sold into slavery. I can't find no place in their history where that has been. Now, there's some things that they had some hard time in their history, but I'm looking for specific clues. I cannot find nowhere in their history where their children is taken from them and sold as slave to other nations. I can't find that. And here's one more. I cannot find a 400 years of slavery in no history on this planet except for those who can trace their lineage through the Atlantic slave trade. These are major clues. Major clues for me. All right, now, here's some common sense clues now. Here's some common sense, because now brother have to ask some common sense. If they were slaves in Egypt, and I'm talking about those who are occupying the promised land right now, claiming to be Jews, claiming to be us, claiming to be Hebrews. Here's where I went with this one now. And this is common sense. Using the white man theory that he cannot be the first man on the planet, notice that his skin is recessive. Notice how he operates in the sun, that the sun kills him. It gives him cancer. It literally kills him. He cannot stay in the sun for but so long. I started to look at history. I went to Egypt. Now, Egypt is in the desert. Egypt is in the desert. And I asked myself the question, if these guys are truly the people of God, serving about a 250-year sentence in Egypt as slaved, yes, most of you don't know, that the true Hebrews did not spend 400 years in Egypt as slaves. They spend a period of 430 years from the time, if you were to look back from the time Abram went into Egypt, if you from when Abram went into Egypt, right? If you look back, if you were to look at that time to the children of Maycha'al, if you look from the time when Masha, aka Moses, went into Egypt, from the time they were delivered by Moses out of Egypt. Let me say it again. If you go back to when Joseph went to Egypt, he was sold into Egypt by his brothers. So if you were to start from the time of Joseph's soul enslavement into Egypt, from the time Masha took them out of Egypt, you would realize the time that Joseph went to Egypt, he became the head man in Egypt, and he sent for his family. They enjoy a whole protected, sheltered, highly glorified life in Egypt. They were not all slaves in Egypt at the time. They enjoy a good portion of their lives. It's when they start to multiply and becoming like the sands of the seashore. One of the pharaohs came in and said, "Yo, man, these guys, they outnumbering us 10-1. Let's treat them harshly and make slave of them." This is what the white men do to us today. This is why they sterilize you. They want you to be like them. This is why they sell bleaching creams. This is why they sell you fake hairs. Women. This is why they make you want to be so much like them. So that you forget who you are. They don't want you to have babies. They tell you, "Oh man, you can't afford these children. It's too much." This is why they're sterilizing us. The abortion clinics, the amount of babies that are being slaughtered. Planned Parenthood. Look up Planned Parenthood. Y'all need to do some research, for crying out loud, man. They're sterilizing you. Because they know you will multiply over the 10-1. They have to subdue you in here at first. They enslave your minds to keep you away from your God, to keep you away from who you are. Because they know the power of your God. They know if you only know who you are, if you only call upon the name of Yahweh. Come on. And the children of Maycha'al called upon his name. And every time they call on his name, what do? He rescued them. That's why when his name came blazing from the far east, those who heard it, a fire was set off in their minds, in their bodies. They can't sleep. They can't do nothing. They can't think properly. Their work is not great. Their careers is not good. Everything just stopped messing up because we know that we need to be here. We need to be a part of that. It lights a fire in you. So we gave up everything we know. We gave up the American dreams. People thought I'm crazy. Have a big old house, 4,000 square feet. Working at a great job building ships, making over $80,000+ a year. At the time I left, I had 2 barbershops. Gave it all up. Gave it all up to come to this country, the Philippines, where the Creator said, "This is where I want you to gather." I would have never known this without a ravenous bird. The man who was sent by the Creator to execute his counsels from this country. I just did an interview with the ravenous bird. You can check it out on my YouTube channel, Now Living in the Philippines. Now Living in the Philippines is a channel I started while I came here a year ago. And my goal is to show you in Matzraim, which is, we call it Egypt, America, the lands of our captivities, enslavement, Europe, the Caribbean islands. I did this channel so that you can watch and see. Because some of you have this audacity to think we're a cult and that we're following some cult leader. But I did this channel to let you see for yourself how we living down here. That's why it's now living in the Philippines. How we living? Ask yourself the question, do you ever seen from the time you were watching cults and reading about cults, have you ever seen any cults went bowling? Took the whole family bowling, the whole tribe, the whole people, constituents bowling. Have you seen them anywhere on the beaches, hanging out, having fun? You see them going out and eating. What do you see in a cult? They're locked them away in a camp somewhere. They're isolated in some mountains. They don't have the freedom to roam around. They don't have the freedom to spend their own money. Everybody worships the leader as God. Everybody look to the leader as God. Look at the cults around. Our beloved leader, our beloved prophet, and more than a prophet, is sending us to Yahweh. Spending his whole life teaching us to read the source language for ourselves so we don't depend upon a translation. To understand English, to understand the Gabare. I'm learning to read the Gabare. I'm learning the alphabet. Abba, Gada, Awaza, Kata, Yaka, Lamana, Saka, Patsa, La Rashata. I'm learning it. I'm still messing up. I'm a baby, but I'm learning it. I'm learning how to do a true blessing as a priest, because I'm a priest. I'm Loe. Abaraka Ya'o. Wa Shamarka. Ya'ar Ya'o. Beneo Aleka. Wa Yashanka. Wa Yashanka. Yash Ya'o. Peneo. Aleka Wayasham. Lakar. Shalom. I'm learning. That's how we spoke back then before our language was taken from us. That's how we spoke back then. We spoke in the language of the Creator. This, before the Tower of Babel, this was the language everyone spoke. We're learning to speak our language. We're learning it. We're learning to read the word not from a translation, but from the actual word, so we know exactly how the Creator said it. Not a transliteration of what we think he said or how it sounded in another language, but exactly how he said it. Because a man shall live by every word, and when you translate a word, something can get lost in translation. OMPP, I'm talking to you. This message is for OMPP, only middle passage people. Now, if you're not OMPP, if you are white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, Filipinos, if you're not OMPP, if you can't trace your lineage through the Atlantic slave trade, you are not OMPP. If you're black and you're African, Ethiopian, wherever you're from, and you're black, and you cannot trace your lineage through the Atlantic slave trade, you are not OMPP. So that's why I tell you guys, it's not a racist thing. I'm telling you what it is. The 400-year curse can only be traced through the Atlantic slave trade, pointing to those people as the true children of the Creator, the two children, bloodline of the covenant seed of Abram. If you cannot trace your lineage through that, this message is really not for you. But if you heard the message and you said, okay, what about us? Because you're asking the question, what about us? I'm telling you that Yahweh made a way for you. You now have to go read Isaiah, the book of Isaiah 56, 1-8. The answers are right there. Isaiah 56, 1 through 8. You are a stranger. You are a stranger. Some Hebrew Israelite will teach you that the stranger is us. No, the stranger is not us. Because if you look at the commandments, he give us commandment. If you look at the fourth commandment, what the fourth commandment says, the fourth commandment says, remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy God, of Yahweh our Elohim. In it shall you do no work, you nor your sons nor your daughters, your manservants nor your maidservants, nor your strangers that's within thy gates. You see that? Nor your strangers. A stranger is one that is not born of the bloodline. You are a stranger. So when you read this Isaiah 56, find the part where it says stranger, because he's speaking specifically to you. You can be saved. You can enter into the fold. But there's something you have to do. And Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, has told us what we need to do. Now, the world will tell you, follow Jesus and you'll be all right. The world has told you, Paul has told you that we're no longer Jew nor Gentile, male nor free, bond nor slave. We're all one in Christ. And you believe that. But if I'm not male, then what am I? If you're not female, then what are you? You mean when I became a so-called Christian, I no longer am black? You're no longer white? If I'm in bondage, are you going to let me go free? Is that what it's saying? What is it saying? It says you're not male nor female. So I become a believer in Christ and now I'm no longer a male? Come on, think through this now. Think through the information you have received all your life. But if you go down further down, he said that we are the olive branch. We are the olive tree, and those are grafted in. So if there's a tree here and you're grafting in, I told this to my friend in New York. He's like a brother in Maine. He's like a brother to me. I love this guy. He's like a brother to me. I said, you ever seen a tree grafted? You ever seen a tree grafted? I've seen it. Here's a mango tree, right? The mango tree is the tree. It's planted and rooted in the ground. It's a full-grown tree. But I want to graft a orange tree into that mango tree. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it can be done. What you do, you hack out a piece of the bark, and then you angle a piece of the mango tree, like in like a arrow, and then you put it in the bark, and then you tie it around the tree. Sometimes you can put dirt, sometimes you can put sap, and you leave it there and you water it. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, is later on, as the tree grows, time goes on, the orange tree starts sucking from the bark, or the bark of the mango tree become a host for the orange tree. Now, watch this. That most people don't know, because it won't explain to you, or probably you never even thought about it this way. When that tree, that orange tree that is grafted into the mango tree, when it bear fruits, will it bear mangoes? I'll make you sim on that for a minute. I'm having smoothie. My wife made me smoothie in the morning. What will that grafted tree bears? Will it bear mangoes? No. Will never bear mangoes. Can't bear mangoes. When it bear fruits, guess what it's going to bear? Orange. We're all fruits. Mangoes and orange, all fruits. But the tree The tree is a mango tree. The grafted piece is an orange tree. Strangers, you're not the mango tree. You will never be the mango tree. You don't come into our midst white and it suddenly you become black. That's not what the message is. I am not grafted into you and suddenly I become white. That's not the message. The message is that you're grafted in, but you're still an orange tree. But that's why I said you got to go read Isaiah 56 because it explains it very, very well. You have to meet a criteria, just like we have to meet that same criteria. We have to meet the criteria. There's no free ride because the blood run in my vein. You think because I'm a Maycha'al by birth mean that I get a free ride? Unless I repent and obey, I don't get a free ride. That's why I'm living in the Philippines. When I heard the message, I act immediately. I didn't waste no time. I act immediately. Oh, this part of the mic sound heavier. Oh, maybe I should turn this around. There we go. Sound nice. I like this part of the mic. Around here sound a little bit. You hear that? Yeah, I like the heavy sound of the mic. Perfect. All right. Well, at least that's how it sounds in my ears. I don't know how it sounds to you guys. All right. Why aren't you asking question? Why aren't you asking question? I've already given you information to make you ask questions. Those that are living and occupying the land is not the true people. The so-called Jesus is not the true Messiah. He has the Messiah's words mixed in, but it's not the true Messiah. The true Messiah, it have to be black. These are things that you can't accept because you have been painted a picture that the Messiah is white. The place of Jerusalem, aka Jerusalem, the land of the true Hebrew, black people living there. Egypt is black people. You don't have to take what I'm saying. Just look at the hieroglyph on the wall. Look at the hieroglyphs. Canaanites were black people. You don't have to take what I'm saying. Just look at the hieroglyphs. And you know, it's amazing in some of those hieroglyphs, you can see the drawings of white people. You can see it because they draw them clear. But if you notice the drawings, they draw the black people and they have the brown people and sometimes they have the blue black people. They show you the black people and they show you the brown people and then they show you the white people. Egypt was all black. But guess what? And white people in Egypt were slaves. But guess what? And they were more indentured slaves. They were indentured. They were more house slaves. They worked inside. They couldn't stand the sun. And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier, ladies and gentlemen. No white people on this planet today, even right now, can go in Egypt as it is right now, much less ancient times. Egypt as it is right now and work as a slave for 200 plus years as a slave under a taskmaster's whip. You're not the kind of slave that, let me take a 5 minutes here and rest. It's not how it works. That's not how slavery work. You look at our ancestors, you see how they enslaved us. You think we had time to rest? You think there was no break time? You work from sun up to sundown. And if you miss a quota, you were beaten or put in the sun, dogs rip you up, get your testicles cut out, or guess what? They'll put you in a hole. And a hole with a metal plate, cover you, and there you'll suffer. Break an egg. Just break an egg and see what happens to you. That's the kind of horrific enslavement we endured, not only in Egypt from black people, not only in Africa from black people, but from here in America, from the Spaniards, because they're the first one to start. The Spaniards, then the Portuguese, then Dutch, then England, then America, and all in places that take European countries, Germany, all these countries that benefit and still is benefit from our enslavement today. They treated us harshly, ladies and gentlemen. No other enslavement in this world can compare to what we went through as a people, our ancestors. And even though I wasn't born, I was born in the 70s. I was born in 71, right? We didn't see chattel slavery when I was born, but my mom, who born in 1948, my grandmother, they saw that. They lived that. You understand me? They lived that. And here in America, even up into the 60s and 70s, in the South, come on, even to this day, there's still a slave trade happening right now. And I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, no white people, not even fair-skinned people, fair-skinned black people can survive in a desert under a taskmaster's whip, working sun up to sundown, 7 days a week. Well, maybe they rest on Sunday because that's the god Ra. He's the god of the sun. Maybe they give them a rest on Sundays. They couldn't survive. They couldn't survive in the desert. They can't survive in the desert. Not under a taskmaster's whip, working from sun up to sundown. Cannot survive, ladies and gentlemen. So when you take these clues and add them to the equation, you have to, by sheer intelligence, because I'm not talking to people who are ignorant to the facts here. By sheer intelligence, you have to exclude those people. They don't have a history of enslavement for no 200 to 400 years. They don't have a history of being brought by ships scattered across the nation, sold as slave. They don't have that history. You have to exclude them. The true biblical characters, people of God, people of the covenant, are those who can trace their lineage through the Atlantic slave trade. If you cannot trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, you're not the bloodline. You're not the covenant people. Now, if you can trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, here's where I'm closing. If you can trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, then there's an obligation. You have an obligation. You have an obligation to the Creator to come home. How many of you going to come home? You remember what the true Messiah said to his disciples and everyone who was listening? Unless you're willing to give up everything you have, unless you're willing to give up everything you have, you cannot make it in this kingdom. You cannot make it in this kingdom. You have to be willing to give up everything you have. Here's what I can tell you, and here's what I can tell you for certain. And this is not a secondhand information. What you are about to give up is nothing. And I repeat, nothing. Let me repeat it again. It is nothing compared to what you're going to receive. Everything that you will lose will be temporary. You may lose a wife because she don't want to come with you. You may lose a husband because he don't want to come with you. You may lose some children because they don't want to come with you. You might lose everything you work for because you cannot take it with you. I'm telling you that all of that is temporary. You don't remember the scripture?
and God will wipe all the tears from their eyes. What do you think he's going to, why? Why do you think the creator is going to wipe the tears from our eyes? We got loved ones we're leaving behind, man. I got grandchildren I had never held. I have two grandchildren I've never held. One was being born just shortly before I left. Probably will never see them physically because I ain't going back. I ain't going back. At least not on my own. You understand me? I'm going to stay right here. I'm telling you, what you're giving up is nothing. Nothing, Instagram. Instagram, what you're giving up is nothing compared to what he have in store for you. Trust and believe this. TikTok. Though you might be a few that's watching me right now. You know, I used to have 60,000 people watching me at one time. I used to have 60,000 people watching me. And when they start to hear what I'm preaching, they cancel my account. This is my 4th account with TikTok. But it's okay. That's the world we live in. TikTok. Nothing you're giving up that you will not replace 10 times more when you come into the hands of the creator. For those who are on TikTok who've heard my message before, you heard my message. And for a minute there, we were a nice little group. And we were going together to call upon the name of Yahweh in Tennessee. We were getting there. It's about maybe 15, maybe 8, no, it was about almost 30, 26 to 30 of us. We were all going to meet in Tennessee to call upon the name of Yahweh. And all of a sudden, a dissension came in the group, and he say, she say, and this person and start talking about me and how I'm this and how I'm that. And you know what Yahweh told me a couple months after the whole group dismantled, and some of you gone left and some of you gone right? He told me he was the one who sent the deception. He was the one who sent the confusion. He was the one who sent all of that to happen. You know why? Because of what we were about to do. We were going to call upon his name, the name Yahweh in Tennessee. He would have to show up. He would have had to show up. But that's not the prophecy. You see, the prophecy is that his name was coming from the Far East. It wasn't for him to show up. It was for us to show up. We were to show up here because this is where it's coming from. The fire is blazing from the Far East. You were to hear his name and come to the Far East. Cebu, Philippines. That's what was supposed to happen. So he sent the monkey wrench in it. I know now. I'm here. Trust me. I'm the only one of all the group that is here for right now. I think somebody else is coming, but hey, you're not here yet. Until you get here, you're not here. Facebook and YouTube, let me say this to you. I've been talking on Facebook longer. I've been talking to you, Facebook, longer than I've been talking on YouTube. I've been talking to you, Facebook, longer than I'm talking on TikTok or Instagram. And I'm telling you, Facebook, you have blocked me several times. You have silenced my words. You have cut off my sound. You have taken away subscribers from me, followers from me. You have locked me down now to 5,200 followers. I can't do anymore. They tell me now that I have to delete some followers to add new followers. Yeah, they put a cap on me. They're controlling how many of you get to see this message, how many of you get to hear it. Back in the days when I come on, a notification would be sent to everybody. I would have 10, 15, 20, 100 people, 200 people watching me. Now I look at my Facebook count, there's one person. And I know it's 11:30 over there now. It's 11:30 in the United States. And most of my followers on Facebook is from the United States. So it's 11:30 now. It's 11:30 a.m. here, so it's daylight for me. It's nighttime for you, so that could be the reason. But most of the time, I'm very mindful of the time, and I try to be on here like around 5, 6 o'clock when I know you get off work. 5, 6, 7, 8 when I know you get off work. But with the phones today and with the network today, you can watch this anytime. I don't see you commenting. I don't hear you saying, "Man, great job." I don't hear you saying, "Nah." I don't even want your comment on your great job. I want to hear you say, "Man, what you're saying is moving my heart, man. I need more information, man. When will this happen?" We're coming up on a short time, ladies and gentlemen. Most people don't know what's really going on, but we're at the. Let me see. Got my paperwork here. Yeah, we are at the sixth plague, if I remember correctly. We're at the plague. Sorry, not plague. Trumpet. Sixth plague began to shout. Yeah, we are. We're beginning. We're in the beginning of the seventh trumpet is about to sound. Actually, the seventh trumpet sound in 1828, which is 757, 1828 AD, and then 1824. Noisome. That was 1861. The vials. The vials are about to pour out. The first vial pour out 1828. Let me see where we at now. Third vial 1926. The fifth vial. This is going to be the fifth vial. So the sixth trumpet and the seventh trumpet, all the trumpets are blown already. All the trumpets are blown already. So when you read Revelation, the trumpets are all blown. And everything that Yahweh said is going to happen has happened already. Right now, we're about the fifth vial. If you go back to Revelations and read the fifth vial, which is about to pour out. The fifth vial will begin to pour out in the year 7,253, which is 2024. This year. This fifth vial that is pouring out. The first year of the new 49-year cycle, 7 times 7. The seat of the beast, which is the United States of America, will plunge into darkness at some point during the 49-year period. OMPP, only middle passage people who are wise and who understand the prophetic time will exit the America by 2024. We are in 2024, ladies and gentlemen. We're in 2024, and will move to the wilderness in the far east, where the name Yahweh rose like the sun at sunrise, and before darkness and pain descend upon the United States of America. I will stop right here and let you reflect. If Yahweh does not use me, this is the ravenous bird speaking here. If Yahweh does not use me, these words in the post will prove to be false. And you may ignore this post, ignore the name Yahweh, and continue doing whatever you've been doing. Everything I teach is based on the name he told me is his. So, not only everybody's watching to see what's going to happen in 2025. Because spring, we don't celebrate the year like how the world celebrate the year. Our year doesn't start in January and end in December. Our year starts spring to spring. So 24 in the springtime would be 25 in the springtime, right? So after the period of 2024, the Exodus year was 2023. The Exodus year was 2023. And 24, this is your leeway time. When spring come in, a lot of disaster, a lot of things. Now, why do we say it's going to happen in America? Because America is the place that enslaved us the longest. Even to this day, the redlining and all the Jim Crow laws and all these things that have been happening to us. So the seat of the beast, which is the power of Washington, D.C., and the power of America, which is the superpower of the world, the Heavenly Father have to strike the superpower of the world. Because if he does not strike the superpower of the world, and then America is not the superpower of the world if he strikes somewhere else. We believe that the seat of the beast is America. We believe that America will be struck by Yahweh, by disasters and plagues, and we believe America is going to implode. Right? I mean, look at what's happening to the money right now. That's one of the first things. Everything merging, right? The disasters that are coming. We believe that this is going to be rapid. A lot of things are going to happen and pick up rapidly. But what's so amazing? Everybody that always prophesy way in the future. Way in the future. Everybody that prophesies, everybody that comes before the ravenous bird, always way up in the future. Probably when they're not alive to see it happen, or some of them stay alive to see it happen. We're talking about a year from now, not even a year from now, less than a year from now, a couple months from now. That something is going to happen. Now, we can't give you we can't tell you, it's going to happen this day. We can't say, well, it's going to happen in August 1st at 5 o'clock. We can't tell you. We don't know the day or hour when things are going to happen. We just know they're going to happen. The handwriting is on the wall. The leaves are falling off the tree. We can see it. It's going to happen. There's going to be an implosion, and there's going to be civil unrest in America. And that's why the Creator is telling us to kind of get out. The fifth vial is going to pour out, ladies and gentlemen. The fifth vial is about to pour out. And we know that it is not the end of the world, like I said before, and I'm making that announcement again. It's not the end of the world. We're not talking about doomsday, end of the world, fire and brimstone. We're telling you that a paradigm is going to shift. The paradigm is going to shift because we have to be here in the wilderness for 98 years. There is another 98 years that's going to take place where we're going to renew power here. And you'll see it. I hope I'm around to see it. I'm 53 years old. I hope I'm around to see it, but I've already positioned myself in this place, so I am seeing it. So if I actually see us taking the promised land, I'm here. I was one of those the Creator used and brought here. So I'm seeing it now. I'm living it. If you hear my message today, then it's time for you to act. How do you act? What do I do? See, that's the good question. If you're asking the right question, you have to ask, what do I do now? What is my call? What I'm supposed to do? Most of us don't ask the question. We hear the message, we're like, oh, that was so awesome. You're clapping and cheering, and you feel good about yourself, or you feel good and you start to think, but you never ask the question. The message is supposed to lead you to repentance. It's supposed to lead you to act. And one thing I know for certain, repentance is immediate. And here's why it's immediate, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't have time. You don't know. Today might be your last day. A car accident might be waiting for you. A gunshot might be waiting for you. A robbery gone bad might be waiting for you. A heart attack might be waiting for you. Cardiac arrest might be waiting for you. Food poisoning. I don't know. So, and because I don't know, I have to act with certain urgency. That's why when I first heard this message, I went on overdrive. The first thing I did when I heard the message about leave, and you can go see this on the Ravenous Bird, go check out this page, Leave on Wings. Leave on Wings. You're going to see why. Go to YouTube and check out the Ravenous Bird page. and leave on wing. There's a couple there that you got to watch. You got to watch new true name of the creator. You got to watch brought by ships, because he's going to give you the history of how he became, how he got transported here, and he's going to show you who you are, what tribe you even belong to, by certain clues from the Bible, from biblical evidence that was left for us to identify who we are, right? Then watch Keep Silent Before Me Islands. Now, Keep Silent Before Me, no, watch Leaving Wings. Leaving Wings first. Leaving Wings will show you why you should leave. I believe that that's the one you should watch first, even before the name Yahweh, because guess what? I'm telling you his name is Yahweh. So you heard it. Go and watch Leaving Wings, because that's what you need to do now. Leave on Wings is what you need to do now. Let me say it again. I'm repeating myself here. Leave on Wings is what you're supposed to do now. So go watch that one first. And then Keep Silent Before Me Islands. This creator command the island of Philippines to keep silent and let us come in, so that we can renew power. He's going to do something in us. He's going to do something in us for his glory. Read Ezekiel 36 and Ezekiel 37. He's going to start a new covenant with us. Read Jeremiah 31, 1 and 2, and then skip to 31 through 37 or somewhere around there. I'm telling you, read the book of Yeshaya, Isaiah. You're going to see it. It's all there. Micah 2, Zephaniah, Hosea, Habakkuk, all there. It's the creator has to fulfill his word, because his word does not return to him void. He has to accomplish that which he spoke. He said, I will not change my words. He said, my covenant I will not break, nor alter the things that gone out of my lips. You can find that in Psalms 89:34, Mazmar 89:34. Anything he said has to come true. If it doesn't come true, he's a liar. And that's not a God you want to worship. You don't want to worship a lying God. This God never lies. This God never fails. This God never retracts a word. He's merciful. He's kind. He's abundant in love. He's super patient. Oh, he's a comforter. Oh, he's a comforter. But he's a killer. Yes, he's a killer. He's a destroyer. Listen to me. This God is a killer. Nobody's preaching that. I'm preaching it to you today. God, the creator, Yahweh, is a killer. He said it in his word. Vengeance is mine. Who is he taking vengeance on? Vengeance is mine, saith Yahweh. But watch the next thing he said. And I will repay. He said he will no wise clear the guilty. Come on now. You think he's going to pardon you? He not pardon you. He will forgive you if you turn away from your transgressions. If you turn back to obedience to him, he will forgive you. But he said he will no wise clear the guilty. Vengeance is mine, and I will repay. The wrath of Yahweh is coming on ungodly people. It's going to happen. It's not a if, ands, or but. And some of you are waiting to see signs. Oh, when I see this and when I see this happen. Oh, when I see the first storm, and when I see Washington D.C., then I'm going to leave. You may not have time to leave. You know how many people say that when Noah finished the ark? This man has been preaching for 120 years, they said, about some rain is going to come. When I feel the first raindrop, I'm going to get into the ark. Oh, I'm going to get into the ark when I see the first raindrop. He said it's going to rain. I guarantee it's not going to just rain all at once. It's going to trickle a little bit down before you're going to see the clouds are setting up, and it's going to rain. And when it rains, then I will go into the ark. But what you don't know, you weren't paying attention to the story. You weren't paying attention to the event. When Noah and the animals went into the ark, there was no rain. Go and read the story again. There was no rain, ladies and gentlemen. When Noah and the animals went into the ark, there was no rain. There was no rain on the first day he went into the ark. There was no rain on the second day he went into the ark. There was no rain on the third day. What about the fourth day, Maycha'al? No rain. What about the fifth day, Maycha'al? No rain. So that you want to tell me that they've been in the ark 5 days and no rain? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You ever ask yourself the question, what the people outside the ark was thinking? What the people outside of the ark was thinking? These guys are crazy. They're mad. Look at them it must be stinking, sweating there. They got all these animals, they're defecating. It must be horrible in that ark. They must be laughing. They must be gyrating. They must be keeping a party. This dumb guy. He said it was going to rain. He built the ark. He's been in there now 5 days, one whole working week, and no rain. Well, here comes the 6th day. Day number 6, no rain. Some of you see us traveling over here, and you might not see nothing happen in the springtime. And you're going to be like, look at those idiots. They said and they're preaching that this was going to happen, but look at that. Nothing happened. Until day 7. Day 7. Day 7, ladies and gentlemen, the Bible says the spring opened up and the seas, it looked like it just comes over in the land. And the stream rose from underneath the earth and rain. And it falls for 40 days and 40 nights. And every living creature that was not inside the ark died. Except for those on earth died. Fish still live. They could swim in water. But every living creature on the earth died. Now watch this. I know some of you going crazy. Maybe you don't believe in the Bible. Maybe you don't believe in the event that happened. Maybe you're one who have excuses. Say, man, it's all fairy tale. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Fairy Tailer. Mrs. Fairy Tailer. Have you ever seen a rainbow? Have you ever seen a rainbow? And I'm not talking about the rainbow you see that the LGBTQ communities carrying. I'm talking about a real rainbow. Have you ever seen one in the heavens? Have you ever seen one in the sky? Come on now. Have you ever seen a rainbow? Now, if you have seen a rainbow, that is a sign, a token, a mark, a covenant, and a promise that you've seen that was made with you. The mere fact that you've seen that means that covenant was made with you. You never saw the ark and you never saw the rain. Even though all around the world there are signs of a vast water withdrawal from all the evidence that was left on the what do you call that, the Grand Canyon. Do you know that someplace in the Grand Canyon right now it's off limits? They won't let you see it. The earth was flooded all over the world. Walter White has this I forgot what he called it, message where he was showing all over the world the same marking all over the world. There was a worldwide flood. There was a worldwide flood. That's why you have fossil records today. Fossil records prove that there were a worldwide flood. But anyway, the mere fact that you see a rainbow is that the Creator has made a promise with every living creature in the ark. Now, you weren't there yet. You weren't physically in the world. You were in the bosom of one of those people that was in the ark. Could be Ham, Shem, or his brother, but you were in that ark. And the mere fact that you still see the rainbow today is that the Creator said every time He sees it, it's a covenant He's made with all living creature, not just human, but animals and birds and fish. Everything that has the breath of life in him, the Creator says, when I see the rainbow, I will remember my everlasting covenant to never destroy the earth with a flood again. Not going to do it this way. This time we're going to use disaster. You notice after that, how did he destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? How did he destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? How did he destroy Nineveh? Watch this. How did he destroy the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and all the other ites them that he destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth? How did he do it? Not with a flood. Go study your scriptures. How is he going to do it this time when he comes? And why is he going to do it? Because you see, he's got to put things right. He's got to put things back in the right order. And the first order of business from the Creator is that he is the only God. It's not your government. It's not your religion. It's not the nation or kingdoms of this world. It's not your church, and it's no nation on this planet. He is the only true God. And because he's the only true God, he has to sit on the throne as God. That means if you're God and you think you're God, you better worship him. You better worship him. And if you're a God and you think you're a God, you better stop calling yourself a God. Because if you call yourself a God and you're worship as God, he's going to bring a challenge right to your door. He's going to bring a challenge right to your door. And the first challenge he give you said, all right, predict the future. Tell us what's going to happen. Here's my Bible. Tell us what's going to happen. If you're God, tell us what's going to happen. Tell us what's going to happen tomorrow. Do you know when you're going to die? Do you know that your life has an end? Do you know I know the end from the beginning? Tell me if you know. Tell me if you know. Where were you when I was creating the clouds? Where were you when you do like Job? And he gonna bring it to your door. He gonna put a challenge to you. Be ready. He's coming. And you and your armies can't stop him. Because when you send up a plane in the air, who control the air that flows up there? And here's the thing, what you don't know, your plane needs air to fly. Without air, your plane can't fly. All right, watch this. You gonna send ships? Who do you think control the waves? Who do you think control the water? You've never seen waves yet. I think maybe the most you've ever seen, maybe 50, maybe 120 foot waves. You have not seen waves yet when the Creator really scoop his hands and just blast that bad boy over. You have not seen waves yet. Who do you think control the earth? You're going to send your tanks and your troopers? Who do you think control the earth? He'll open it up and swallow you in. He's going to open up the earth, swallow you right in, and shut it right back. Go and look at what happened in Egypt. All the gods they worship, every single gods, they worship more than one, that they worship the Creator fight against every single one of them. Why do you think he sent the frogs? Why do you think he sent the locusts? Why do you think he make the sea red, the Nile red? All of these gods they worship. Why do you think he blot out the sun for 3 days? Because their number one top god in Egypt was the sun god Ra. Ra was the god of gods. And the moon was a sister. And he blocked out the sun. So if he blotted out the sun, then the moon wasn't shining because the moon gets its reflection from the sun. So what did he do? He stopped their gods in their track. What was he trying to prove? He is the supreme God. He's the only God. And every God bowed down before him. Listen, when they brought the Ark of the Covenant into the house of Dagon, their God, when the Philistine picked up the ark and bring it, he allowed him to touch it too. He had a point to prove. I love this Creator. He allowed him to touch the ark. They brought it into their God, the house of their God, and they put it in front of their God. Why? So that the God of the Hebrew would subject to the God of the Philistine. And when they come back the next morning, what they see, the Philistine statue prostrate before the Ark of the Covenant. And so they get mad. What the hell is going on here? Why are God kneeling? Why are God on his face? They put it right back up. The next day they come back, it was on his face again. They couldn't understand it. They couldn't understand. We're talking about a 666 statue here. They couldn't understand. Why is it prostrate? So they put it back up. Then they come back the third time, and instead of being prostrated, it was cut to pieces. It was cut to pieces before. Listen to me, man. Don't mess with this creator. He's dangerous. He's a dreadful God. You know, Daniel said about him, he said, the fearful and dreadful God. You know, people don't understand, man. He's a warrior. This God we worship, man, don't play. Yes, you subjected to him or you don't. It's on you. But if you don't, you're going down. It's just the way it is. It's just like my house is my house. You trying to come in here? You got to get through me first. That's just the way it is. But if you try to come in my house, I don't have to do anything. I just call upon the name of Maycha'al and say, good luck trying to get in here. Because I don't fight my battles. He does. I don't fight my war. He does. I'm a child in his house. This is not my house. This is his house. It's not my phone. This is his phone. It's not my computer. It's his computer. It's not my money. It's not my wife. It's not my kids. It's his. I just have the privilege of taking care of these things and managing these things and maintaining these things. That's it. That's all. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing at all. Not even my life. Not even the breath. Just imagine if he was just for 5 minutes. I don't even say 5 minutes. Let's say a minute and a half. How many people would die if he just hold the very breath of 1 minute? How many would drop dead? Imagine if he was to charge us 1 cent for every breath we take in and 2 cents for every breath we push out, because carbon dioxide is polluting the atmosphere. Let's say he was to charge us 1 cent for that and 2 cents for that. Just imagine. See, you're not aware, man. You're not aware. Your life is not your own. Can be taken from you at any time. You're spending your time and you're working and you're trying to amass wealth, but you don't understand what that which you're storing up belongs to someone else. The only job you have is to maintain, it's to replenish, to manage. That's the only job you have, really. All right, so you hear it. What should you do? Here's what I think you should do. Here's what I've done. Now, I only can tell you what I've done. I got my passport. That's the first thing I did. I went to get my passport because, you know, in this world, you can't travel without a passport. So I went to get my passport and I didn't wait. I was so serious about it. I did not wait. Some of you are waiting to get your passport before you move. You remember I tell you about the ark? People are waiting for the rain to fall before they move in the ark, but the ark door was shut. The ark door was shut. The ark door was shut before the rain come. What I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, for those who can trace their lineage to the Atlantic Slave Trade, and for those who are righteous strangers who want to come here, I'm telling you to go now and get your passport taken care of. That's your priority number one. Once you finish that, start liquidating everything. Sell everything you have. Sell, so you can carry as much money as you can possibly carry. And yes, you can carry more than $10,000 when you come here. All right, you just have to declare it. Most people think, oh, you can't carry over $10,000. That's not true. You just have to declare it. If you don't declare it, you will have problems. I would suggest don't carry more than 50, carry less than 50, because if you carry $50,000, the IRS is going to be all over you. All right, so carry $49,000 with you in your pocket. And if you got children, have them carry 10 or 9,900 each, right? So if you want to carry 100 grand here, that's how you do it, right? Stay within the law. Stay within the law. You can't go wrong, right? Sell. Start, once you get your passport in, start liquidating stuff. We've liquidated everything. My wife get her passport. My daughter get her passport, but I didn't get my passport. But we sold the house, got rid of everything, stayed with my brother until my passport came. I stayed with my brother. Yeah, we all stayed in one room. It's fine. All right, we stayed in one room. Or we could have stayed in a hotel. We had enough money to stay in a hotel, but why stay in a hotel when I could go help my brother, help him with his rent, help him with his light, gas, etc., etc. So I stayed with my brother. I stayed with my brother for 1 month. I got my passport on the day I was traveling. That's how crazy it was for me. But I was dead serious, and I put it in the hands of Yahweh. I said, I've done all I can do. The miracles come from you. They don't come from me. The miracles come from you. I did everything you commanded me to do. I sold everything. I gathered whatever money I have. I gave away what I can give away. But I don't have a passport. And the government say I can't travel without one. Help me get my passport. And the day, I'm telling you, I got my passport on the day. And I was traveling at the time of the COVID. I got my passport the day. When I tell them, I said, lady, when they tell me the day that I can come in, I tell them, I said, that's the day I'm traveling. He asked me, what time is my flight? I said, I'm traveling 11 o'clock. Something had told me to book a late flight because I wanted to get to the Philippines in the morning. I didn't want to get to the Philippines at night. I wanted to get here in the morning. So I booked a night flight, and my connecting flight would reach here in the morning. So I tried travel to 2 time zones. It was beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, we traveled. I got my passport. They gave me an early time to come and get my passport. I went to Boston to get it. Actually, no, not Boston. I live in Maine. I went to New Hampshire to get my passport. I got my passport, and then I hang out with my brother, and we ate, just talked. We went to the movies because now we have time. Then I got to the airport at around 6, 7 o'clock. Plenty of time for us to check our luggage in and just relax. And that's what we did. We didn't want to get there at the last minute because we had about 9. We had 13 luggages. That's what we brought. Between the 3 of us, we had 13 luggage. And we got our luggage in and say goodbye to our brother, and then go into the airport, ate, chill till our plane, jump on our plane, boom. And that's what we did. So we didn't wait because we were serious. And I'm telling you not to wait. I'm telling you not to wait. Get your passport. If you don't have your passport, get your passport, start liquidating. If you have your passport, I'm telling you, buy your ticket. Oh, but I'm waiting for retirement. You may never see it. Oh, I'm waiting to get that. You may never see it. Which is more important? The legacy of your life or the short live of that stupid retirement you're waiting on? Think about it. Okay? If you have your passport, man, you without excuse, because you can't go before the creator and say this. Now I know some of you might not have no money, and that's a problem, right? So you want to travel. I say it's all about faith. It's all about faith, and I don't want to give you no false hope here. But some of us have a little bit of money, right? And as a family, and we know what we're doing, we just got to step up, And for those who are watching here, and if you got a little bit of money, maybe Yahweh is calling you to step up. Maybe he's testing you. Maybe it's your test to see if you would share with your brother. As a matter of fact, you're commanded to love your brother as yourself. So it's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just saying, if you have some money and the brothers are suffering here, I think maybe you're the one that is called to hold them out until Yahweh open the doors to bless them. All right, that's all I'm saying there. But not gonna spend much time on that. I'm an example of that. I do that all the time because I know whose money I have in my bank. I know whose money that is. It's not mine. I know it's his. Yeah, and that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say, guys. I love you guys a lot. I truly do. See if I can get my little music thing going here. I truly do. Now you know. Now you know what you got to do. Yep. Now you know what you got to do. Now you hear the message. The urgency is yours. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! It's all about what you're going to do next. Urgency. It's on you. You are watching TMB.
True Matters Broadcasting.
Until next time, peace out.